It's that time again. Honeybadgercricket.com, the podcast from hell, episode 7. I'm your host, Jim Birchall. As always, Mark Kelly. Say hello, Mark.
Jim Birchall, you're a champion.
I am a champion.
That's what DJ Bravo would say.
Not as much as a DJ Bravo type champion, but a champion nonetheless. Tell you, was a champion this week. That's Kane Williamson and the New Zealand cricket team, or the Blackcaps as they're stylised. We actually won something. We won a series, 1-0.
The first time in 30 years or something?
I don't know. I don't know stats. You know that.
Yeah.
And we're too lazy to look anything up.
But I'm pretty sure I heard that somewhere. Yeah, and we did all we could to lose it.
We did.
That was pretty impressive. That first 2 balls of day 5.
Yep.
With Stuart Broad and the lads really. Jeet Raval did not look good that series, eh? Not looking good.
No, I mentioned that actually a few episodes, not to blow my own horn, Mark, but I did mention that I thought he looked out of touch all season, actually. He does suffer from not getting enough games. He played first class in some A games and warm-ups and that sort of shit. But, I think he just needs more cricket, to be perfectly honest. I heard a few people, ill-informed people, basically saying, they should replace him, the usual argument. But replace him with who, And he's still averaging about late 30s, 40, isn't he, as well?
We've just never had, good test openers for a long time, eh?
No.
Remember when they gave 2-metre Peter Fulton a try in South Africa?
It didn't quite work out, did it, for 2-metre? But to his credit, he did score twin centuries at Eden Park against England last time they were there. Do you remember that?
Do you know that was his only 2 test centuries? Too?
Was it?
Yeah. It's a little fun fact for you.
A little fun fact.
Yeah.
Anyway, shout out to 2-metre Peter.
Yeah, he was actually on the Radio Sport commentary team for that last
Was
time.
he?
Yeah.
How did he go? How did he fare?
He's pretty good. I like him as a commentator because he throws like a lot of players under the bus.
Does he?
Yeah.
That's what he wants.
Really
so he's not a
good,
fence sitter.
Nah. He would tell stories that they shouldn't. They should be told, but kind of sometimes shouldn't be. And he said that Tim Southee and Trent Bolt they hate batting.
Yeah.
They're always constantly on how we're on DJ Bravo watch. They're on Australian fast bowler watch.
Sure.
And you're like, did you see Mitchell Johnson? He bowled 155 Ks, blah blah blah, and they're always quite frightened by that. Yeah, that was 2-metre Peter's chat.
Well, I like the chat. I like the ex-players that don't sit on the fence. You got to have something to say if you're a commentator. It's very easy to move from playing into commentating and then worrying about whether you're your mates are gonna get all dark at you.
Absolutely, yeah.
But it sounds like he doesn't give a shit.
No,
so props to 2-metre. Well done.
Let's call him a friend of the show now.
Friend of the show. Everyone's a friend of the show, aren't they? Really,
except if you're in the Australian team.
Our Australian friends who we'll apologise in advance this week for that. But that's all over. The whole tampering thing's over. Those naughty boys have taken their punishment. They've bent over. They've been struck with a cane.
Poor old Davey Warner. I never thought I'd say it, but all his time of being the biggest dickhead in the world has really come back and bit him on the bum.
It has.
Even Steve Smith and old Cam Bancroft got they've kind of been forgiven already almost. They cried. They said the right thing. Davey Warner did all that. But everyone they won't forget that he's a dickhead.
Yeah.
It's really good. You should on Twitter, all Michael Vaughan and
it's getting quite
KP
nasty, isn't
it? They're really going for his
Who
head,
was it last week that who did the clap? Remember they put that on when we talked about it last week. That was it was Jonathan Trott, wasn't it? Yeah, it was Jonathan Trott, and he really gave it to him. So he must have pissed Trotty off in the past.
Nasser
somehow.
Hussain gave him a good spell as well.
But that's Nasser, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nasser's like that. That's all right. So it's a bit of an end-of-season review today on honeybadgercricket.com podcast. As we said, New Zealand actually won a series. It's been pretty good test summer for New Zealand overall, but that's pretty easy when you only play about 4 tests a summer, isn't it? So what do you think about that? Do you think we should be playing more test cricket? I see Kane Williamson was saying this morning he thinks New Zealand should, but that could be just basking in the glow of beating England 1-0.
I'm pretty sure all the players still love test cricket, eh?
Yeah.
And both of those tests, how exciting were they?
Yeah.
Even though the day night
test, parts of them were, yes.
Yeah. Well, went for 2.5 days, one test did.
Yeah.
And what a shit show that was, eh? Why would they not have the day night test, the final test of the series?
That's what I thought.
And why would you have a test match that overlaps into daylight saving?
I suspect it has something to do with the rugby season and... Well, in the case of Eden Park, anyway.
The Blues did play there last
Saturday. I suspect we're not talking about that game, by the way.
Is it when you 100 points were
yeah, it didn't go well. It was an early April Fool's joke from the Blues, wasn't it? But I think the day-night test, as we called it, not the pink ball test.
test,
Yeah, I think that was probably to do with scheduling more than anything. But that's okay. Hey, shit, we won something, 1-0. And I see the top run scorer for the summer in Test cricket was Colin de Gronholm, which I probably wouldn't have picked at the start of the summer.
No, and I reckon if we looked in the stats, he probably bowled the most overs as well.
He did seem to bowl a shitload of overs, didn't he?
What did he get in the last test? Didn't he pick up a fourfer?
I think he got 4 for 93, I think it was.
In two of those wickets, he went 4-4, ... wicket.
Yeah, so a bit like his batting then.
Yeah.
So it's sort of mirroring it, isn't it? We had the New Zealand Cricket Awards as well, and Trent Bolt pretty much just swept the carpet as usual. And Sophie Devine did the same with the women's stuff. So, yeah,
No
went
real
pretty well.
surprises there.
Yeah, Ajaz Patel won the domestic player. I think that's what it's called, or first class player of the year. Spinner from CD.
Didn't he take like 450 wickets or something?
He did
in a year,
shitload. I'm not sure exactly. As you know, we're not big on stats.
Yeah.
But when he did have a very good season. He used to play actually up here in Auckland, and he went down to CD to get a run. And he's obviously that's paying dividends now.
Quick shout out to CD. They're picking up the Plunket Shield win. Heinrich
They
Milan and
did.
the boys. What a season they had. Two
What a
seconds
season.
and a win.
Yep.
So, well, imagine if who was in Wellington? They choked real bad against ND in that final round.
They did, yeah.
Because it was like whoever won, like Wellington had to win it,
Yep.
and they needed like 240 or something with 2 days to get it, and they
They shot themselves in the foot, didn't they?
big
Sort of
time,
cool.
big time.
So successful summer pretty much for New Zealand, I think. The ODIs obviously went down 3-2, and then we got Dick Bowers in the T20 final. But does that really matter after the end of the summer and we're in the throes of autumn now, and everyone really only remembers the last game, don't they?
Absolutely.
Which let's be fair, was a draw, but that was enough.
But it was a winning draw.
A winning draw, I suppose. Yes. Sodhi and Wagner and old mate Dutchy de Gronholm managed to hold out, and we got over the line there.
About old Wagner,
Yep.
why halfway through a test match did he change his name?
To Wagner.
Yeah, because he was Wagner for the first 3 days.
From what I understand, I'm not sure if someone's listening, they might know better than me, but I understand his name is Wagner because it's
definitely.
Afrikaans.
Yeah.
But he calls himself Wagner, because people call him Wagner in New Zealand, simple as that. And he says, "Oh fuck it."
The commentary
You can call me
is just
Wagner.
terrible, eh?
Yeah.
The New Zealand cricket commentators are almost a bit like the rugby league commentators, in Aussie, how they just refuse to learn how to pronounce Polynesian names.
Yeah.
Just very old school, just, I don't know, some would say racist, but...
Are you trying to diss Debbie Hockley?
No.
Is that what this is about?
You're
Mike?
putting words in my mouth
Am
now,
I?
Jambalaya.
Do we need different coaches for the different formats? I just thought about that after we got crushed in the T20.
Yeah.
I'm not sure Hesson's the greatest T20 coach. He does okay in the longer form and the 50 overs. I mean, he took it to the World Cup final. T20, I think we might need a specialist.
What are you thinking? Would a Stephen Fleming?
Well, I'm
maybe
thinking
Daniel Victoria?
everyone's thinking Dan Van Tory
yeah.
and Stash Fleming, but
Or even BMAC?
not even someone like
maybe
BMAC.
BMAC would be too early on.
The thing is, though, if you look at the respective records of Fleming and Vittori and the teams that they coach now, Australia and India and so forth, they're actually not that great. So are people just thinking that because they're the most recently retired players who everyone
Have a
knows
chance,
that have
yeah.
become coaches?
And well, old man Dan will never do anything wrong in this country again.
No, exactly. But there's probably a far better T20 coach available than those two.
I'm starting the petition to get Heinrich Milan.
Heinrich from CD.
Yeah, huge
Yeah.
fan of Heinrich, eh?
Yeah,
Huge
That's
fan.
because you talk to him on the radio, don't you?
Yeah, he's always up for an interview.
Okay.
So, and he's always a go-to of like, we need a.
Well, if you're in
first
charge of
class-
selecting T20 coaches, then he's already got the job, isn't
Well,
he?
he's done well. He's taken. He's a good coach. Really good. He's young as well, and we'll see.
Is he young? Is he? I don't know a lot about the guy, to be honest.
I would say in his 40s, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Again, I don't really know too much about him.
No, well researched again, Mark.
We always get pulled up on
You always
that,
get
don't
that
we?
sort of quality here at honeybadgercricket.com.
We'll get better though.
We will get better, and we're trying so hard. That's what it comes. We got really good feedback from when we had Dennis Friedman from Dennis Does Cricket on the other day. We got the most plays we've ever had ever 92, I think it got up to.
Yeah.
So if you're listening right now, you could be part of the 92. Hopefully it's 93 this week.
Oh, well, I'd love to raise the bat, take the helmet off.
Yeah.
That'd be a great feeling if we could bring up our first ton.
Yeah, that'd be good, wouldn't it?
But we'll see.
And it's all up to you people listening. So if you're listening to this now and you're saying, what's this load of shit? Or you're thinking, hey, these guys are tryers. They're having a dig.
Yeah.
They're taking the shine off the ball, so to speak. We've laughed at the first 2 sessions already, haven't we?
It's pretty good. Not many runs on the board, though.
No, not a lot of runs on the board. No, but
a couple of nick through the gully, and
yeah, I always remember.
I got dropped early.
You did, yeah. I was back about 93, 94. Blair Pocock made his debut for New Zealand, Hawk Pakuranga player, and I remember a little interview they had with him, and he said, whilst he was batting, a little side interview they'd done with him beforehand, saying, if I survive the first session and I take the shine off the ball and I've maybe made 10 or 15 runs, I consider myself done a good job. And then Richie Benno, the late great Richie, butted in and said, I bet his captain is not happy with that sort of job. It was the funniest thing I've ever heard, because at the time it epitomised the kind of negative way New Zealand played Test cricket.
Yeah,
we used to play for draws, effectively, and that was a hangover from the 80s. We had a shit-hot record on paper from the 80s that said we never lost a Test series at home for 10 years or something like that. But that's just because we played for draws, quite simply. And we'd get teams come here right at the end of their tether. They'd already been in Australia, much like England's been on their 6-month tour or whatever. And you get the West Indies come down here and would have a bit of dodgy umpiring from Fred Goodall and things like that. And it kept our record intact for 10 years. But we did used to play negative cricket. And things revolutionised, obviously, when actually around the 92 World Cup, when Paddy Greatbatch decided to just have a go. Mm-hmm. Really, you're too young to remember, but
I don't know if I was born, actually.
Yeah. What's that?
I don't think I was born.
No, you weren't
in the 92
born.
World Cup.
I'm really show my age here. But Paddy just decided to start hitting over the top, and it worked for him, and he just kept going and going and going. And it was kind of the birth of New Zealand starting to play more attacking style. And from then on, obviously, we've been more renowned with guys like McCullum and Roscoe used to hit a bit more in his younger days. And
He used to love a good slog sweep, didn't he?
That's right.
Thank God he took that out of his arsenal.
Yes. Yeah, was that coached out of him? Did someone tell him to stop doing that?
Oh, it had to be. It was probably...
I don't think it would have been Hogan, because he was very close to Martin Crowe, wasn't he? But Hogan would have, from my memories of him, he would have told him, to play his natural game and that sort of thing. And I'm sad the slug sweep's gone from Roscoe. Can't he bring it back into his repertoire, surely?
Well, he's probably got it. Well, he might have even used it a couple of times in the England ODI.
He did use one once, I saw, yes. On a shortish sort of leg side boundary somewhere, didn't he?
Well, it's like in any ground in New Zealand.
No, except for the Bay Oval.
Oh, yeah.
The Bay Oval's a fair size, we've decided, haven't we? And Hagley Oval, that looked a picture the other weekend.
Should we just get back to the Bay Oval, though? Maybe.
No, we shouldn't.
No,
we shouldn't. But that looked a picture, and they've good sort of 70-metre boundaries all around. It's nice and... the measurements are accurate and all this sort of thing. It looks like good quality ground. Good crowd came out, and the weather played its part. So
until like 4 o'clock each day.
Yeah, it did start getting a little bit dark, and there wasn't. Yeah, they could have played it a week earlier. Probably would have suited things a bit better. But that's sort of the pinnacle of the season. There's still cricket to go, because I've got to umpire I've been asked again to umpire at the National Club Champs at Cornwall Cricket Club here in Auckland. They kick off next, I think, Tuesday. I'm doing a Wednesday game in the weekends, where basically all the winners of the one-day competitions around the country from all the main provinces come up and have a bit of a giggle. It's always a pretty good tournament. It's run really well by Cornwall. I know the players enjoy it. Some of them enjoy it too much. They get a few complaints from the hotels they stay in close to the ground, I understand. And they get up here, and some of the guys from the smaller towns enjoy the big city atmosphere.
Or the lights.
And the big city girls,
yeah.
I think, probably comes into it as well. So, yeah, that's starting next week, National Club Cricket Champs. And I think they're going to stream that live this week. So you might even be able to watch me, if you like, umpiring, giving a few shockers.
I might wander down and watch, but only if you're umpiring on the number 3.
Yeah, well, the wonderful number. We've talked about the number 3 ground at Cornwall many times with its 31-metre straight hit boundaries. Well, no, if you include the pitch, it's about 50. But if you're at the short end, shall we say, you basically just get it through the slip coordinate at 6.
I'll just be going scoop shot every time.
It's crazy. We once had a team score 320, I think it was, off their 20 overs.
Holy smoke.
Yeah, it's that short.
Yeah, wow.
So it's like Eden Park less 20 metres. So that's pretty good. As with the expanding universe of this podcast, we're going to have a fella called James Butler probably come on next week. I'm just teeing it up with him at the moment. James runs a similar sounding podcast called Cricket Badger Show in the UK, but he's been doing his for a lot longer than us. I got in contact with him a couple of years ago when I sponsored his website that was running at the time. He's a journalist, but he also does a very good podcast, and he has some leading players, particularly from the Yorkshire region, because he was tied in with Yorkshire media, cricket media there for some times, and he gets some players who have played for England and so forth. He's just finished a trip to Barbados. I think it was a pre-season trip, maybe MCC or Yorkshire or something like that. So he's going to be coming on the show and giving us a preview of the English county season, because obviously it's heading into winter here, so we're not going to have jack shit to talk about really for a while.
No,
we're not. No. I mean, we'll have less to talk about than usual.
We'll have a lot of DJ Bravo watch.
A lot of DJ Bravo. And we're going to have more to talk about DJ Bravo shortly, because this week he's just about to start playing in the IPL.
Finally,
tomorrow morning. It's been a quiet couple of weeks for us on DJ Bravo
Watch. He has released a couple of new songs though.
Has he?
Yep. We played it on the last one.
Oh, that's right. We did play one. It was a bit of a banger, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it's nothing on as big as hit Champion.
That is, which is our theme song, as everyone probably knows.
Yeah,
and we're looking to have Honey Badger Cricket sponsored player Tim Johnston come in and give us his impressions of the equipment and of the season Canterbury had this year before he heads off to the UK. He's playing league cricket. I think he's set up in Norfolk. He's heading off in a couple of weeks. So hopefully we can get him in the studio. If not, we'll get him on the blower there, and he can give us his thoughts on how his Canterbury seasons went, what they need to improve on, and how shit hot Honey Badger Cricket bats and gear is.
Yeah, and they're great gear. I've actually got a bat at home. They're using the bat.
Oh, have you? How did you? I didn't give you one. Where'd you get it from?
You did.
Did I?
Yeah.
Must have been pissed or something. I don't recall giving you it. Anyway, that's the worst 20 minutes you've ever heard. Well, relating to cricket anyway. What are you up to for the weekend, Mike?
Go to the Warriors game.
Go the Warriors.
Yeah, go the Wars tomorrow night.
Riding the bandwagon.
Tigers. Yeah. Oh no,
Yep.
I'm always. It's our year.
Yeah.
The Wars. They've actually got a good thing. There's 2 games in. You can buy one ticket and you get 2 games worth.
Okay.
$25.
Yep.
Be taking a lady friend.
Now, are you taking the same lady friend you took to the cricket?
I am.
You are?
Yep.
So things have progressed since then?
Yeah.
She wasn't put off by your sort of love of the game, so to speak.
Nah, well, the thing is, I'm forcing a lot of live sport,
You're forcing it upon her, are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
without consent?
No, consent. There's consent.
There's consent there?
I asked if she'd like to go to the Warriors. let's make that very loud and clear.
All right, excellent. We'll hear more about it next week. Bit of Dre Rust to take us out. That was honeybadgercricket.com, episode 7. We'll see you next time. Say goodbye, Mark.
Goodbye.
Yo, Spider, a Dre Rust, me a the one for the future.
This a be the man, you know them can't stop the youth, yeah.
From me barefoot, I walk like Muta. I be a gal, me recruit ya. Me want you sweat wine like a soaker. Flush your man like say a poker. Serious, nah laugh, me no joker. So wind up like a soaker. Hey, the gal, sweat wine like a soaker. Flush your man like say a poker. Serious, nah laugh, me no joker. Gal dash out on the sofa, baby. Roll your waist 'cause you got it like that. That sexy cock up, the fit, the buy back wine. Pan time, no time for waste time. Gal, clean like we see you no have no spot. Bubble, back it up. You bumper fat skin smooth like